Let them know it's Halloween. Hit it!
I wouldn't change places with anyone tonight. We'll carve pumpkin faces and watch the witches' flight. Every human heart will shudder. Every soul will shake with fear. Tonight, the creepiest. Tonight, the scariest. Tonight, the most wonderful. The year anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat. There may be a toad in your bass guitar, or your sister could turn into a bat. Christmas time brings the snow. Summertime brings the sun. But on Halloween, your blood begins to run. Something spooky is going down. Anything can happen on Halloween. It's better than a video. Gremlin's gonna mess up every cassette from London to Idaho. April 1st can be fun. New Year's Eve is a bore. But on Halloween, your flesh begins to grow. Oh, I'm losing control. Anything can happen on Halloween. Your toenails grow long and your hair turns green. Your t-shirt could become a sardine. Your dentist could turn into a queen. Has anybody seen my tambourine? I may start playing big in the beginning. The craziest night you've ever seen. This hairy, scary, creepy, crawling
What's going on?
It's one of the best songs ever written and performed by your boy Tim Curry.
I think that's the best thing that Tim Curry's ever done. I don't
Yeah,
think he could top
he's
that.
only in that movie for like 5 minutes, and he does like the best thing in that whole movie. So yeah.
No. So, Creepy Kentuckian here.
I'm Uncle Bill. Hi.
And we are doing a Patreon roundtable tonight. So the link is on DEADPIT on Patreon.com. If you want to join in, I heard from a few people that said they may stop by tonight. I don't see anybody in there yet. So what the fuck?
We're going to do a roundtable just Sammy Killer.
Yeah, we'll do a roundtable with just me and you, kind of talking the talk, walking the walk, baby. But how is everybody doing tonight? We do have Fat Rob Zombie in the house.
Yeah.
He wants some motherfucking meatballs, yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Carnage 6X, Stuntman Mark, X-Ray Punch, John Cressip, Phantasmat, Josh Martin, and Corey from the S'mores Indoors podcast is on here. So, how is everybody doing this fine October the 25th? It's the 25th.
I'm excited. Any night that you get to talk about horror films is a good night. My children are in the other room doing a fucking shadow cast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. No shit.
You see the size of that fucking pumpkin right there, Uncle Bill? I almost carved that motherfucker.
That's a big old pumpkin. That's some pumpkin tits.
Oh, what's going on? Phantasmat. What's up, brother?
How's it going, man?
Howdy, sir.
It's going. It's good to see you on here. I haven't seen you on one of these, but I did.
No, yeah.
You were on the at the Fright Night Film Fest screening and stuff like that. I remember
I
your
sure
face.
was.
Uncle Bill didn't show up.
I know, showed that. Yeah.
Everybody was asking where you were at, man.
I know. I can't help it.
He was.
I was on a religious sabbatical.
He was in one of those situations where he didn't know if he needed to puke or shit. It was like back and forth.
It was kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of which, here's another individual, Josh, that was at the Fright Night Film Fest.
Goddamn, I feel really bad now.
Where Uncle Bill was not.
Yes.
It's like, let's just bring everybody that was there and tell me to go fuck myself.
How are you this evening, sir?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
We're doing good. We are doing good. But yeah, we haven't done one of these roundtables in a couple of months. So these are always fun to do. So we need to try to get back in the, in the habit of doing these once a month. So, and there's always a lot of stuff to talk about for sure. So yeah, we got Take It Easy 04 in here, 1,000 Meter Films, Mid-Level Media, Brandon Skaggs.
That's a lot of people.
Carter Dention is in the house. Yeah, we'll talk about
What the fuck?
his favorite scene in Halloween Kills is where Laurie Strode just finds a random shot of pain meds and just jabs herself in the ass with it.
Yeah, that is a great scene in a hilariously bad fucking way.
Scratch Burno, TJ Frizzy, thank you for the hat. For the compliment on the hat.
Yeah.
Chris V. Rocky Dennis.
He's
How you
in
doing,
here.
Rocky?
Cher's coming in later.
We've got some celebrities. Fat Rob Zombie and Rocky Dennis already.
He's going to trade you some baseball cards. Wasn't that his thing in that movie? He had baseball cards and shit.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that movie in quite a while.
That's a great movie.
So, yeah, the round table, we're going to go ahead and get started. Is there anything that you guys wanted to mention first, or I can go first, whatever you want to do?
I got an email from Scream Factory.
Uh-oh!
Oh, boy.
And I don't know. I think you guys got your Halloween 4Ks from Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was one of the unlucky people that ordered it from Scream Factory. And I just got them in, which, first of all, 2 of them are eco cases. 2 of them.
Well, you know what I say to that? You know what I fucking say to that? Eco dies tonight.
Okay, but they did send me an email today. I don't know if anybody else got this, but they are offering a $10 off code for the inconvenience of waiting for those Halloween 4Ks during their sale. So I wasn't planning on getting anything during that sale, but then they sent that code, and now I'm kind of like, maybe grab a couple.
I feel like that's how they get you too. Like,
Oh yeah.
because that's the first time I've ever known them to do that. They may have done it on some other releases or something like that I didn't buy, but I've never known them to give anybody like a $10 credit.
No, even on the Nightbreed, didn't they give was it 20% off, or was it a?
What was it? It wasn't even 20% off. I don't think.
I'm not sure. I was thinking it may have been a $10 credit as well, but I'm not 100% on it.
I have a cart built up on there, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I'm kind of.
Is there really anything on there that is that great of a deal, though? That's what I was looking at, because I was kind of excited. I was going to buy a few things, but then I looked at it and I'm like, these are basically Amazon prices.
Some
I can
of
tell
them are
you.
like 10.
I can tell you one thing on there that if you had a $10 off thing, I would buy would be the Prince of Darkness 4K, but that's just because I don't have it. It's only like $20, so you get it for like $10.
They have Assault on Precinct 13 at a decent price, but I'm kind of waiting on that because I have been seeing that they're restoring that in 4K. So, you know, I want to wait until that comes out on 4K. I don't really want to grab the Blu-ray and then grab the 4K right after.
Yeah, they were. I think that weren't they working on Army of Darkness as well? The 4K of that. I know that was one that we talked about almost a year ago. I think they
because that was the one that wasn't in the fucking Groovy box set or whatever that they're getting ready to come out with, because that Scream Factory has the rights to it and they're the one that they're going to put it out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got those 4Ks in, and I don't think I'm going to email them about new cases because I don't want to. I have them in my hands right now.
Oh, I'm going to. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to.
Uncle Bill needs to make a whole it's like a documentary video on it. Just, you know, the days after, the lead up, and all that shit.
Into the Pit Part 2.
Yeah, it's going to be about me trying to get fucking regular cases from Scream Factory.
Yeah, I would drop them a few times, let them crack, and then send them the email.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have to really do anything. Like, you just press on them a little bit, and your finger's going to go through the shit.
Now, Garrett was telling me, and I didn't really pay any attention, I haven't looked yet, that all of the discs in the Halloween box set back in the day were eco cases.
See, I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think he said it was the Halloween one.
Yep. There they are.
There you go. So the deal with that is, a friend within the industry is all I'll say. I don't want to name names, but they save so many cents per case. So when they tell you they're saving the earth, they don't give a shit about the earth at all. It's just the bottom dollar.
The bottom line.
Yeah. Rocky Dennis says that he's still waiting on the Night at the Roxbury 4K. Where you at here, Rocky? You'll probably be waiting a while on that one.
Here's another interesting thing that they did too. I don't know if I'd heard several people bitch about this. So for the people that actually bought the album, the vinyl, and the poster and all that stuff with, 1, 2, and 3, they shipped a bunch of them, but they didn't have the vinyls for a lot of them, especially part 2 for some reason. So they just shipped out their other stuff and then was like, hey, had like a note in there. It was like, we don't have your shit. We'll get it to you whenever we can. Like, just, it's like, what? So you just like ship some of the stuff.
An interesting thing I wanted to mention, because Mid-Level Media is in here. What's going on, brother? He ordered this shit directly from Scream Factory as well. I'm thinking, was all of yours the eco cases, Mid-Level? I'm thinking it was. And then one of the discs were missing. He just said that he's still missing his. How does that shit keep happening? It's the same company. How does that keep happening? That's the strangest thing. It doesn't. Vinegar Syndrome's never had that issue. I've never heard anybody complain about Arrow missing a Blu-ray disc, but it happens all the time.
The only other company I've ever heard people bitch about this much is like Code Red. Like back in the day when Code Red was putting stuff out and they would, screw everything up. But Scream Factory's got to be the worst.
Pop's Movie Dungeon. Echo! I'm hearing Echo.
Fucking sloth.
What's going on, dude? Can you hear me?
Hey,
Go on,
guys. What's happening, y'all?
Not too much. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Sorry I'm a little bit late.
Oh, you're fine. You're just talking about your favorite company, Scream Factory.
Man.
First topic.
I'm a little mad at them right now. I had the same problem Uncle Bill had. My part 3 and 4 came with those damn eco cases.
Same here.
But about a pain in the ass.
Yeah, there's just nothing worse than that shit. Like, I can't even describe to you how disappointing that is. Like, when it feels like
$36 on the website,
Yep.
It's just crazy, man. Just crazy.
Yeah, it was like mid-level ordered them as well. $36, and I think he was very late in the game, finally getting them. Way after people could, Amazon orders, Best Buy people getting them at Best Buy early and all that. That's bullshit, really, because used to, you would get this stuff 2 weeks ahead of time, but they haven't been able to pull that off in a while. Scream Factory.
No.
I like their excuse for that too. They released something that was just like, yeah, some people just didn't know when the release date was. It's like, really? They just, you didn't tell them when to release it, just whenever. It's like, I don't understand that company, man. I try, but they fuck up on every level. It's possible to make mistakes. They do.
I don't think I'll ever pre-order from them again. Honestly, I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah, it would probably take something like the Nightmare on Elm Street box set for me to ever order anything from that shit again.
Well, that's next year,
It's coming.
Slippy is working on it. I mean, he will not admit to it on air, but he tells us all about it after we're off air. I just wanted to make that clear. It is 4K, and it's going to.
Oh yeah,
that's like one of the homemade boxes, right?
Yeah, somebody on Facebook Marketplace told us for $25. So it's done pretty good. I mean, it's glued on there. You can tell it's probably going to come off eventually, but I mean, it's pretty good shape. It's a hard box.
What are you going to do though next year when Scream Factory comes out with the other 4 or 5 movies? Whatever it is.
Just piss away $25 on that, pretty much. That's what you call an impulse buy, right there.
Something that's weird though too, and Garrett mentioned this too, with those style it's like the creep show cases. Really, I don't know how else to describe them. That the Halloween movies, and then Elvira's Haunted Hills is in that case as well, the Blu-ray. And then they just go back to the regular style cases. What's the reasoning behind that? I mean, what you would think. I was assuming that they were going with those cases for everything, collector's edition wise, but nothing really makes any sense with them. So
you would think with Arrow doing that they would almost have to just to keep up. But not only are they not doing that, they're doing the damn eco cases like they don't even care. It's like they're so damn big now. They're like the hell with it. I don't know.
For a while, the Arrows were coming in Blu-ray cases.
Yeah. Right.
So I have one I'm looking at, but so far I've been lucky with only getting one blue case, because that's super annoying to me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, especially if you're OCD about stuff. I mean, it's just
which I'm very OCD.
I think some of their. When did they start with the clear cases? Because some of their older releases, there's always a chance that you're going to get the blue cases. And the Arrow ones aren't as easy to find replacements for either, because they're a little thicker. I
think Arrow actually did my favorite, whatever you would call it, packaging for up until recently, when they actually did the Deep Red and Cat of Nine Tails and stuff like that. That's actually my favorite packaging. But back in the day, just their regular releases, the way that they came in the white with the clear, over the, you put the disc in that way. I used to love those.
I got one.
Yeah, mid-level's got a good point here, though. The next 5 Halloween movies in 4K would be one of the most disappointing Scream releases of all time. What are we excited for there? H2O? I'd be excited for part 6. But other than that, I'd be fine with them not even coming out with the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get Curse of Michael Myers, and that's it.
Yeah, if they do that, there's no way. You're gonna get Resurrection and Rob Zombie's Halloween and all that shit. No.
But yeah, I'm almost positive that set's coming as well.
I'm sorry, some people like Rob Zombie's Halloween. I forget.
Bradley Taylor. Yeah, I thank you for becoming a baller and shot caller for the commentary. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I will give Scream Factory credit, though. Their transfers, 9 times out of 10, are always top notch. Stuff they
Everything
produce
else
is always
just
good.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I finally watched that Friday the 13th 2 on the new transfer from that set. That looked amazing. You know, ain't no doubt. But it's just the way they conduct business is what I've always had a problem with.
That's one thing, though, I wanted to...
The replacement disc program.
Yeah, which is basically just their whole program is a replacement disc program. I was curious, though, like what everybody thought was like, what company had the best year? I mean, we're almost at the end of it. So, like... I mean, I know what in my mind, who did. I know who had the worst year, but the best year.
I think it's either going to be Arrow or maybe Kino. Kino Lorber did put out some good shit. But, and so did Arrow. I think it's one of those two, in my opinion.
I think Arrow and... I mean, Vinegar Syndrome, this year, they were... I feel like last year, they really hit it good. But I'd probably say either Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome this year, or probably.
Yeah, this is the first year I did the... Go ahead.
What would make you say Vinegar? I mean, what was exciting for you this year that Vinegar Syndrome released? Just out of curiosity.
Did they
buddy.
Honestly,
I ain't gonna have you talk shit about Vinegar Syndrome. I just ain't gonna do it.
The partner labels. I guess that doesn't really count, but
yeah, it does. I wish they would nix the partner. What the fuck, man? Talk about something confusing.
Yeah. That Fun City Editions is slowly becoming one of my favorites. With a few, I think they've only got 5 right now, but I really like those Fun City Editions.
There's a rumor that the Don Coscarelli film Kenny and Company is one that's coming out from Fun City Editions.
I hope so. I really hope so.
It's definitely coming out. I could tell by the way Felcher was acting.
And Felcher's probably involved in some way.
Yeah.
Ever since I heard you guys talk about that one, I've been putting off watching it until we get a good release. I mean, I feel like I'm really going to like that movie.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Arrow though too, honestly, because the packaging and the quality of what they're putting out and the presentation and everything else is just above everybody else right now. Like Vinegar Syndrome, I agree too with Matt. Like Vinegar Syndrome had their that's when I got into them was last year because everything was just fucking seemed like it was just a lot better.
Black, yeah, I got into them when Fade to Black came out.
Yeah. Yeah,
I agree with Arrow. I don't think anybody was close to them this year. I mean, just on the some of the Argento releases, and then I was completely blown away by the Legend release, and that one's on sale right now. So if anybody's halfway interested in that, they just remastered it in 2K, and it's just a regular Blu-ray. But man, that looked freaking good. I don't know what they did, but that's a damn good Blu-ray. A lot of cool extras and bonuses and stuff like that, baby.
I just got my shipping notification from Diabolic today for the Deep Red 4K.
I got that in today. It looks amazing. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah, you got the alternate, the UK artwork or something, right? I think
it's just it's just like the so-called like you can only get it from the Arrow Company site, but you can really get it from like Diabolic too. So yeah, I hate it when they do that shit.
Right.
I like the Deep Red original art, but not as much as the Cat of Nine Tails and the Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Like I had to get the art original version because like I have the other two, so why was I going to get the other art for that? But they look great. Both of those, the two that I have right now, look amazing.
Yeah, I just feel like Arrow figured out how to crack the code to do all of the stuff at one time, like to make the packaging and the inserts and all that and the booklets. But also at the same time make it like reasonable, like at least somewhat reasonable. And
how many of these did they do? Because this is the only one that I have.
That's the ones I'm talking about. Yeah, I've got 4 or 5 of them. I've got Bay of Blood, I've got Dawn of the Dead, I got Day of the Dead, and I've got Bird with Crystal Plumage like that. those were my favorite cases.
The Inferno release that they did of that is worth big money.
I wish I had that.
If you've got it. But like, we could do a whole video or a stream on Arrow, the history of Arrow, because those releases right there that Matt, the one like he had up there, that was just in the UK, but some of their early releases were all region, so they would work in any Blu-ray player. Yeah, and then I guess, they cracked down on that after a while, and then not long after that, Arrow started doing stuff in the US, so it's kind of interesting how that all came together.
Yeah.
This was the first Arrow that I ever picked up from Amazon, actually, like years and years ago. Amazon US had it.
Cool. So, Pop, what would you say as far as labels go? I think you and I talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, for me, it was Arrow. I mean, their packaging. I mean, I thought they made their releases for collectors. I mean, they got the great packaging, they got the great inserts, you got the great transfers. I mean, they pretty much got the whole package going on right now, and they have some great releases. And Kino, I think overall Kino had more titles that I was interested in, but as far as a full package, I think it's definitely Arrow. That's my opinion.
I'll tell you, Kino, though, the thing I love about them is how cheap they are. When they have those sales, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can get like 7 or 8 fucking Blu-rays for like $70 or $80. It's usually like, anywhere between $8.99 to $10 or something like that. Like, that's crazy. And I bought a ton of stuff from them just for that.
Yeah, and now they're doing the Code Red stuff too, so there's even more. Like the Love Butcher, man. There's no way I was not buying the Love Butcher for $10.
If you've never seen the Love Butcher, then do yourself a favor.
I have not seen the Love Butcher.
Check that out.
I'll check it out. Did anybody get this? This came in today.
I got that. Yeah.
Yeah. Supposed to come in last week today.
I got the Voodoo Code. That's it. Steve gave me the Voodoo Code. But Josh, what would you say as far as labels, boutique label of the year?
Well, there for like 2 years, I didn't get anything, so I'm still trying to catch up. So I didn't really pay too much attention to what everybody was coming out with this year. So I'd probably Arrow just based on what I would buy, but because nothing else really appealed to me because I'm still trying to get the bigger titles that came out. So
yeah, a lot of the releases this year are kind of, well, I don't know. I would still maybe consider the Argento stuff kind of obscure compared to a lot of mainstream titles and stuff like that. So, and especially Vinegar Syndrome stuff, man. Every month that they come out with stuff, I don't know what in the hell it is anymore. I knew what Ticks was, and I've heard of, I've seen Trauma before.
I think the thing that did it. Yeah, that's
Annie
what did it
Lee's
for me.
Meat Pies. I've never ever heard of that. Never heard anybody talk about it. And they constantly are releasing shit like that. Like, I just always go back to when we had Brad Henderson from Vinegar Syndrome on, and I was talking to him about trying to see if he gives any hints on stuff that was coming out. Never in a million fucking years would I have even thought about Andy Lee's Meat Pies. Or
he acted like that shit was like the Pentagon or something, and then he comes out with all that stuff. It's like, who would have given a shit if he just told us everything that was coming out over the next 2 months? Like,
it's got Mr. Miyagi in it.
And Creature on Blu-ray. So
I'm excited for Trauma, but that's just because like I'm a big fucking Argento nut. I'm sure nobody else gives a shit about Trauma because that's like a 90s Argento movie anyway.
I'm buying it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, one thing I want to mention on here, and then somebody else can go. Do you guys, and I always like talking about this, have any sort of odd Halloween traditions or like old shows you watch or just stuff that you do every year, nostalgic stuff, anything like that?
One thing that I watch every year is the Charlie Brown Peanuts Halloween special. Every year. the music in that is really, really good. I don't know why. Like every year, I have the VHS, I've got the Blu-ray, I got a vinyl. Just that Halloween special, man, love that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about it.
Is somebody jacking off?
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from.
I'm sorry, man. That was me. I'm trying to rub one out while we're doing the show.
Quit playing with your bird, Uncle Bill.
I can't help it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I don't know. Like,
I'm glad you said it because I'm like, what the fuck is that? Sounds like a flat tire. Somebody's fucking.
Oh, that ain't me. My mic's up there.
Hold on. Let me mute this mic. It might be me. Who the fuck knows?
well, you.
Hey, I'm not. I don't think it is, but hold on.
Well, if you can hear it, it's not. Okay, I don't hear anything now. It might have been. No, I can still. Fuck it.
What is that? There's a rat in my fucking computer over here.
There's a ghost in the machine.
Anyway.
Anywho,
Yeah.
what about you, Uncle Bill?
You mean shit I watch or like things that we do? Or both?
Either or, whatever.
All right. So probably like my greatest, what would the word be? Guilty pleasure is The Worst Witch. I watch that every year. I don't know why. I watch that every year since I was like 8 years old. Watch it with the kids and shit now. But like we just do, you know, normal stuff. Like we go down to the pumpkin patch every year. They always pick pumpkins and things like that. I mean, normally try to like watch a ton of movies. And I think this year we're actually going to go out and do the, like they're showing The Exorcist on the, what is it, like the 29th or 30th down there. We're going to go see that. I mean,
I'm not sure exactly how
the kids aren't going to go see that. That'd be great.
I'll show the kids The Exorcist. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'd be great. Lick me! Lick me!
I don't know how they're doing that though, because we've got like a art center, but they got a projector, so I guess they're playing a Blu-ray or something. I don't know how they're doing it, but
I'm assuming, yeah.
they're playing all kinds of movies this at the end of the week, all through Halloween. So that'll be kind of cool. Halloween 3, they're even playing that one. So, what about any of you other guys? Got anything in particular that you that's always kind of unique?
I mean, for me now that my kids are grown, I pretty much just watch a lot of horror movies. You know, we don't really do a whole lot. Just hang around the house, pass out candy.
I think well, for a while there, me and Uncle Bill would try to up ourselves every year as far as the movies go. There was one year, I think we watched like 12 movies or something like that. You remember that?
It was
literally,
bad, yeah.
It was 7 a.m. the next day, I think, when we were done. So, yeah, that was, I think that kind of ended the Film Fest thing. But I still kind of, try to get 4 or 5 in every Halloween. Another thing that I haven't done, but it was a tradition for a while, and if you guys checked out the opening intro, The Worst Witch was on every year when I was a kid on HBO. So that was a tradition for me as a kid for many years. And then now you pretty much have to have the DVD to watch it. I don't think you can even stream it unless it's on YouTube or something.
It is on YouTube. That's where I watch it, which is
is it?
Insane, yeah. But you can't get it on any kind of streaming service whatsoever. You can't buy it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Canadian, so there's probably some sort of rights issue with it.
Oh.
I don't think I've
All right, guys. No, you've never seen The Worst Witch?
I don't think so. I'd have to look at it and see.
Yeah, it's got Fairuza Balk in it when she was a kid. So
I'll check it out.
Charlotte Rae is also in it from Facts of Life.
I'll say this about it.
And Tim Curry.
Yeah, it's based on a set of books, and it's supposed to be like what well, there's people that say this, and I can see it too. Like what Harry Potter was based off of. Like it's basically the same fucking story, except with instead of like a wizard, you just got like a bunch of witches that go to this school that, and it's just about one of them being kind of inept, but it's the same. The teachers are basically the same as in Harry Potter. The story's basically the same. Like it's weird when you watch it. You're like, oh,
it's
okay.
just way better than Harry Potter, though.
Yeah, the effects especially. Special effects are.
Oddly enough, though, I mean, it is very similar storyline wise. So
It is.
was it one of those deals where what was that bitch's name?
J.K.
Who wrote
Rowling.
Oh yeah, it was a girl, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, she was inspired by the worst witch.
I swear to
Probably
God, I
not,
think
though.
that's true, but you never know that.
Fruza Balk's on Cameo now. You can get a cameo.
Yeah,
Well,
I saw.
if you could turn back time and get
I
Fruza
saw-
Balk from like 1996, that'd be a good deal.
In the craft. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who knows what she's doing now? I don't think anything.
or even I'd take 1998 Waterboy Fruza Balk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-oh, we got somebody else joining us, baby. Vicky Valancourt. What's going on, dude?
What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
Happy, early
howdy,
Halloween.
player.
The actually
Hope I
Carter
didn't,
Dention.
disrupt the talk of Annie Lee.
No, you're fine. I like your mustache, man. You've grown a mustache since last time I've seen you. You need to curl that shit up a little bit. Grow
It's
it
for
out some.
It's for a Halloween costume only. So,
Freddie Mercury.
nah. You know what? That might be a good idea. That might be a good idea.
So, oddly enough, though, you requested the WNUF Halloween special, and I did finally watch that the other night. So that's an interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd call it a movie.
Yeah, that's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, is it on YouTube?
It is, yeah. I need to. I haven't seen it, and I thought that would be a good one to check out this year.
Yeah, I
Somebody
discovered it by accident. Just a blind watch, and I was kind of taken aback. It was something totally original, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a new. Well, it's from one of those Vinegar Syndrome partner labels. That's where I got it. Terror Vision or something like that. There's about 15 different partner labels at this point. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them.
I did get Boarding House though from Agfoot or whatever the shit the partner label is.
AGFA.
You know, I know shit though. I am strongly considering, just for shits and giggles, one day to just blow $30 on Annie Lee's meat pies just to see what the hype is about.
I'm sure they'd love that at Vinegar Syndrome because I'm sure only about 5 people have bought that.
is there
I got it
any
on the
hype
shelf.
for it?
I was a subscriber, so it just came to me.
Well, yeah,
I have a choice.
that's the thing.
I mean,
I haven't watched it yet, but it's still sealed.
I'm surprised it's not on Tubi because a lot of Vinegar Syndrome stuff gets put up on Tubi.
I know that's true. I feel like an asshole every time I buy something that's about to run out, they're about to sell out of, and then like a few days later I see it on streaming on Tubi in great quality. So, like, it was like that for shit. I forget which one. I bought something right as it was about to run out, sell out, and then I just had it streaming on Tubi anyway.
Josh is still hearing some tapping. I am too. What the hell is that?
I don't know. There's literally
Who
nothing
is
moving
not-
in my area.
Who is not hearing it?
I've
hear
heard it, yeah.
I hear it.
I
yeah.
hear it.
We're all hearing it.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Yeah, we might have a poltergeist in this chat.
Here's what you do, man.
I
Just start,
wanna mute-
just start deleting people off the fucking chat.
Well, no, I can mute. Let me
Just add
mute
'em up.
myself. Hang on.
It'd be funny as fuck if it was him.
Okay, so did you guys still hear tapping when I muted mine?
Not really.
No.
I didn't.
Well, I'm not hearing it now either. I'm telling you what it sounds like to me is it may be like some wind or ceiling fan or something blowing into the microphone. Is what it could be. I don't know.
I don't have a fan.
I'm not hearing it now either, so I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I got a ceiling fan, but I've never had that problem before. So I don't know.
Well, I'm not hearing it now, so.
Or if it was, I have no idea. What if it was this light? I just have this light on. I don't think that would have done anything.
I don't think so. Who knows? As long as it ain't fucking going on now. I was about to.
I don't know.
Lose my mind. Ah! It's like being waterboarded. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now that's over with.
The stream is haunted.
It's like the
I think we're
poltergeist
good
stream.
now.
Oh shit.
But yeah, the WNUF though, I mean that is an interesting watch. I think it would benefit if it was like only an hour. Like most, let's be honest, most TV specials, if you want to be legit about it, it's only going to be an hour. Especially back in the 80s. So I think that it would have helped it quite a bit. But it was interesting. I mean, it's a good idea.
Yeah, the best part of it to me were like the ads and everything in between the wraparound story, because that made it like 1,000 times more nostalgic. Like I can remember stuff that looked like that back in the 80s. The actual story itself was just kind of like whatever, but all that other stuff was amazing.
It reminded me a lot of the Tales from the Crypt episode, Television Terror, with Morton Downey Jr., where he goes into the haunted house and
Pablo Papano, J.K. Rowling ripped off Troll. That's true. Harry Potter was in Troll before it was, in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I don't think Troll really had the story.
No, I think she was a fan of Troll and The Worst Witch, so that's
she
what
just
inspired.
Combined those two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we ever get those Troll action figures in Walmart?
No.
I forgot about him saying that shit. Yeah, John Carl Beekler back in the day. We're gonna have fucking Troll figures.
That's very old school reference right there. Yeah, like what year was that? Like 2008. And they were doing a Troll remake at the time, supposedly. Wet Movie, what's going on, man? He is getting ready to throw down $165 on some Kung Fu Blu-rays from Diabolic. Am I crazy? No, that's not crazy at all. Uncle Bill throws down money like that all the time for Vinegar Syndrome shit.
I haven't done that in about 4 months, actually. But I do throw down a lot of money for all kinds of bizarre shit, yeah.
Well, you pre-ordered whatever the secret Black Friday deal is. I don't remember how much that was, but
it was a little bit of money. I'll give you that. Yeah, but it's got trauma in it,
right? But somebody else. I think it was S'mores Indoors mentioned it. Was Trauma ever on by itself as a pre-order? Because I've had a couple people mention. Okay. A couple people mentioned it to me that it's not on the website, and I was like, I don't remember it ever being on there by itself.
It will be during the Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
I was going to say, one thing I've been doing this year that I haven't done in previous years is putting in a couple of VHS tapes that I haven't checked out in a while. So I actually just picked this one up online, and I remember this cover so well from the video stores, and it even has the horror sticker on there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So I watched that on tape, and then I found this, which is the
very nice.
It's the special edition one with the cover that flips out.
Now that's an Anchor Bay VHS, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And then the last one that I've put in so far was Phantasm 2. I got this for $5 a couple weeks ago at a store. So I haven't really watched any tapes in the past couple of years, so that's one thing I've been trying to do this year. So throw those in.
That's the thing about I think it's like a lost art is some of that cover art from back in the day. I mean, like the Monkey Shines one in particular, it doesn't really have anything much to do with the movie, but it's memorable. Like that, they did a recent release of that over in the UK, and that used that same artwork there. And I grabbed that. Yeah, I think it's a very underrated Romero movie.
I loved it. I haven't seen it in probably
what's funny
10
about
years.
Monkey Shines is one of those VHS covers that freaked me out when I was a kid. And it was funny is because it was always at a video rental in Albertson's grocery store when I was growing up. So it was like front and center when you're checking out, there was like a big Monkey Shines VHS tape.
Well, my favorite VHS tape is always this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
just wish I would have
Factory
kept
would put
those
that as
fucking
the,
things.
Blu-ray cover.
Yeah, me too. I had a bunch of them. But
I got a Vestron
Yeah.
Changeling tape.
It's crazy about the tapes too, because I remember when we were at Scarefest, of course it's probably been about 10, 12 years ago, but like they couldn't give away some of this shit. Like I remember one, Terror on Tour was one that I got for $1 back then, and that tape goes for like $60, $70 now. So weird.
Well, the thing that cracks me up now is fucking the thing where people are grading VHS tapes and selling them for like $500 to $1,000, like depending on the grade, and people are actually buying this shit. I'm just like, what? That has to be the smallest niche market to do shit like that. And you just, I mean, I would just feel really horrible to do it. I would like, you regret that for the rest of your life too. Like, what are you going to do with it? Like, just sell it back to somebody else? Like, I mean, that would be in the same, I don't understand.
What's crazy is though, is that's
tape.
for like sealed VHS tapes. And
Yeah,
I considered doing it with a couple of mine, but I mean, it costs like $65 a tape, and you've got to buy insurance with your shipping and everything. So you'd probably be out close to $80 to $100 just to ship one fucking tape.
It'd be worth it though if they're selling them for like $1,000. If you've got like a sealed Goonies, man, or something like that, like, Jesus.
I have some sealed Friday the 13th. Well, I've got one or two sealed Friday the 13th tapes. I can't remember.
I got this sealed not too long ago.
That's worth quite a bit,
Yeah,
I think.
that's
I've
badass.
got one of those open back there, but sealed. Yeah, they bring it up quite a bit.
I wish I could have got it when it was $7. It was actually $3 at Blockbuster at one point.
oh wow,
Dude,
I've never owned a
back in the day, where I got mine was a website called Laser Blazer online. I only dealt with Laserdiscs. So when they were doing those fire sales in early 2000s, I legit paid $2 for mine. Like, I got all kinds of movies. Like, I mean, they had tons of back stock of stuff from the late 90s, early 2000s, or whenever they stopped making them. I don't know.
The one sealed thing that I'll show that I have just already out on the shelf is this big box for I Spit on Your Grave from Wizard Video. I haven't opened it or anything, but it's, I still didn't bite on that Blu-ray that they put out though. The last Blu-ray that they just put
Well, they're
out.
doing
Jesus,
a 4K
dude.
now.
Yeah.
That fucking Ronin Flicks thing is like, they are in love with I Spit on Your Grave. I don't know what the deal is. They've got like 2 or 3 versions of that out that's like $100, $60.
Yeah. I'll keep my old Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you guys think that Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set's ever going to be worth anything like the Halloween one is?
It was just $90 on Amazon.
Yeah, see, that's
keeps
what I
going
was
down in
thinking.
price,
But
I mean.
I haven't opened mine, and I'm like, should I open it? I don't know.
I don't know if it's going to be completely honest with you. I mean, because did Scream Factory did do the Halloween one, right? The box set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it fluctuate? I don't think it fluctuated in price like this one is at all.
Well, and there was 2 of them, and I think the big one, the 15-disc one, was only so many copies. So
Yeah.
Do you think the disc screw up and everything that happened with the Friday the 13th set is what kind of hurt it from, I guess, becoming more valuable?
I just think they
They had
overproduced it. Like I would guess that
It's been out for
unlike
a year, and it's still in circulation. I mean, you still can get it easily a year later. And if I remember correctly, that Halloween set, after just a little bit, it was gone.
Yeah, I mean, I think the smaller set was out for a little while longer than the big set, but yeah, it wasn't even a year. I don't think it was even a year, and it was out of print. So it's probably due to it had 2 or 3 different companies licensing in that box set. So yeah, that probably has something to do with it.
I worked at FYE years ago when that Halloween set was out, and I remember we had 1 or 2 of them there that people brought in used, and I kick myself every day for not picking one up with a discount or something like that, because
That's where I bought mine from, was
Yep.
FYE for $99.
yeah,
So,
I missed out on it like multiple times.
yeah.
I'd heard that
Mac
too.
Boy
actually.
Color. That's actually true. I looked that up. I think she was in an interview and somebody asked her about that.
Yeah, that
So
is
that was
her.
one of her early,
I had no idea.
I thought I recognized her.
Demi Moore early, like what year was that? Like 1979, 1980, something like that.
The date's not even on it. I think it was 70.
Rainbow comes in.
Yeah, that's not in the movie at all. I mean, that's
No, it's in the
totally
Rambo is in the Fuck Halloween Kills camp.
Should we even talk about that? Like, I feel like that's been talked to death.
Yes, can we?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
I just got 3 moments I just got to get off my chest that made me either laugh or cringe. And 2 out of 3 moments, of course, was with Charles Cyphers, unfortunately, when they have this whole ridiculous hospital riot scene and the guy jumps out the window.
Yeah.
And Charles Cyphers goes, "He's making us monsters." It's like, yeah, we get it. We get it. It's not deep. The second one is when they get Michael Myers and they like gang up on him, and he goes, "Hey, Mikey, everyone's in for one good scare," whatever the hell he says. Like,
Yeah.
what does that even make sense? Like, oh, and then a third. Hold on, I just came up with one on the fly. When the nurse is like, "This is for Dr. Loomis." Like, she was just some random nurse that drove Dr. Loomis to the pen.
Yep.
What is she even doing in Haddonfield? Wouldn't she be dead or moved on with her life? And then, of course, the last that I just laughed at out loud is when Laurie Strode finds a syringe of God knows what. She doesn't even read it. And Judy Greer's like, "Mom, don't." And she just violently stabs herself in the ass and screams like, "Ah!" And
You
Her
forgot.
daughter should have been like, "That's insulin, Mom."
You
COVID
forgot.
vaccine.
You forgot like the best line in the movie, or the worst best line in the movie though, is just for no reason out of nowhere. Fucking Dr. Loomis comes. Did he kill again tonight? Did he kill? I'm like, who the fuck would come in a room like screaming that? Wouldn't you just be like, what's going on, or like anything else?
He's been killing people all night. What changed?
Yeah.
I think he says something like too. He's like, "Hawkins, what's going on in here?" Something like that.
Did he kill him?
Yeah. He sounds like that fucking.
Did Michael kill again?
He sounds like that little skeleton from Evil Dead or Army of Darkness. Let's get the hell out of y'all.
CK, was it you that said that Dr. Loomis needed a fluid pill? Because that's been stuck in my mind ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Dr. Loomis, but if somebody punched him in the face or something.
Well, come to find out, man, like you thought it was just a guy. That's like, what, 14 layers of prosthetics or something like that is what they were saying?
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like, it still looks that shit. He's just wandering around. Did he kill?
Michael, kill again!
It's so stupid. Everything about that movie is just fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sure
Anthony
there's people that
Michael
like
Hall-
that movie.
Anthony Michael Hall is fucking terrible. That is one of the most, and maybe outside of Tina in Part 5, Tommy Doyle in Halloween Kills is one of the most annoying fucking characters. Right
It is
up there
because
with
all he
the
does,
lines.
he's just like he's at like a 10 the whole fucking movie, just
He's responsible
screaming
for
basically.
Everyone's death. Everyone's death. Everyone that dies is because of his fault. He literally goes up to Laurie Strode's granddaughter and her boyfriend saying, "You want to join the mob?" Last I checked, they're in fucking high school. Who goes up to a high schooler and be like, "Hey, you want to join this angry mob?" Like,
Nobody, not even the people from Silver Bullet did that. They just created their own mob of like adults. Like they didn't go try to find high school people to kill the werewolf.
God, man.
Where do they go from here, though? I mean, like, evidently Halloween Ends is years later. So you're going to have, Michael Myers drawing Social Security, killing people. Like, I just don't see how. Where are they going, like, storyline-wise here?
It's going to be a relative of the lady or the dude that jumped out the window. Is going to get come back.
I'm trying to think of who they could bring back from like Halloween. It's not already like been murdered now.
Well, in the movie, he keeps going back to the house, so I'm wondering if they're going to do something to the house. Because I mean, otherwise, wouldn't he just be standing at that window the whole time? Like,
that's another thing too. Like that's an odd that he just keeps going back and just has to stand in that fucking window like a dementia patient or something. He's just like, I got to stare out this one window for no reason.
And they started trying to say like he gets his power from killing people. Like he gets killing people makes him stronger.
Yeah, and didn't when they rebooted this whole franchise, they were like, we're gonna go back to the basics. Michael Myers is just gonna be a normal guy. He's none of this crazy superpower stuff. And then one sequel later, he has superpowers. He's taking people out one by one.
Well,
he's causing people to shoot themselves in the face.
My favorite part in the whole movie is whenever they're all geared up to fight him, and he picks the mask up and he puts it on. It's like, what's gonna happen? It's like this epic music, and then they all start beating the shit out of him. Like,
that's so true.
It was like that scene from Office Space.
The best characters in the movie were the couple, Big John and Little John.
I thought so too.
I was shocked that they were even making fun of those guys, considering 2021 and everything.
I was
Mad TV.
Yeah.
The only believable person in that movie, honestly, was to me was fucking Judy Greer. Like she's the only one that like seemed like she belonged in that environment. Like everybody else is completely unbelievable, and she's just like freaking out and what you would actually do in a scenario like that. But oh my god, the acting in that movie, I don't think I've seen like since The Happening or something like that, acting that bad where I was just cringing through it.
Evil dies tonight.
Never get that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, though, Bradley Taylor mentioned the new Ghostbusters movie coming out November the 19th. Are any of you guys hyped to see that one? Do you expect it to be good?
No.
I don't expect it to be good, but I'll probably watch it because I'm a big Ghostbusters fan, but I'm not expecting much.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I mean, I'm a fan, but my bar's set real low.
I feel like it's going to be another one of those situations where they're going to take everything about the original Ghostbusters, even the shit that like didn't really matter, and they're going to turn it into like this huge nostalgic thing where they'll have to comment on everything, like just the smallest details. Like that's what they did in Halloween Kills. Like just the stupidest shit, like the window that got broken by the gutter and all that. Like they've got to comment on everything. Has to be some, paid attention to and scrutinized and all that, even if it didn't mean a damn thing from the original movie. So you can guarantee that in that Ghostbusters movie, they'll be talking about stuff that just had no real relevance to the plot. And there's going to be Rick Moranis fucking, quotes. There's going to be shit with Annie Potts. There's going to be somehow or another. I know that Harold Ramis is going to come back from the dead somehow, because isn't that his house? Like something like that's going to, something like that's going to happen. Like I guarantee it.
I just like the trailer. When I saw the trailer, I was like, damn, this does not look like it's going to be anything I would enjoy at all. Like the ghosts themselves just look like CGI Michael Bay bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's all this like sentimentally schmaltzy kind of. I don't want to hate on it before it comes out, but I'm not impressed. But I mean, I'm not a huge. I love the first Ghostbusters, but it's not like a franchise I would die on. So it's just like, if it sucks, it sucks.
It's
Can't be any
almost
worse
like
than that.
they movies like that kind of seem like they're almost just longer versions of like if somebody did like a short of just remembering the older movies. You know, it's like it's like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what. And I don't know about anybody else, but that kind of stuff just aggravates the piss out of me. When you can tell they're just doing something like trying to do fan service. They did that in Halloween Kills, like all over the place. Like the perfect example of that is the line, "Everyone's entitled to one good scare." It's like it didn't fit anywhere in the movie, but they had to fucking do that because they know that fans know what that line is, and I know they're going to do the same thing with Ghostbusters, and it's just going to fucking blow.
Ernie Hudson's going to be excited.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson.
Have you
Dead
guys
Pit on the
watched-
Road for Afterlife or Antlers, Uncle Bill? Antlers.
I don't know. I'm not sure what Antlers is. There's no part of me that wants to see that Ghostbusters movie, though. There's really not.
What about Antlers?
Yeah, I'll go see Antlers, so that'd be off the chain.
Have you guys done both episodes of the Chucky series so far?
I have.
I watched the first episode only. I've got the other one DVR. Just haven't checked it out yet.
Hal Ramis runs in and yells, "Oh, they're ghosts again!" That's fucking weird. Yeah, that's exactly
slime again.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I like those Chucky episodes, though, man. I think that for what it is for a series, I'm not that disappointed with it. To be honest,
I'm not either. I was kind of surprised because I was expecting that to be terrible, and I enjoyed. I enjoyed both of them so far.
Well, I liked them, but I thought the teenagers were like completely unrealistic, like not even close to real. Like, and the dialogue with them is kind of bad, but everything with Chucky is good.
Yeah, that's pretty much me. I mean, they've done a great job with Chucky. I mean, just that last shot of episode 2 with the image of the knife. They're doing a good job with the show. The teenagers suck, but I kind of expected that. But
yeah, because it's just accurate. Teenagers suck anyway.
It's hardcore.
They're just being accurate,
I don't know about. It's just the kids are so unbelievable in it. I mean, it's like if they were set in high school, I think it would be a lot more believable. But they're supposed to be in like 8th grade at the highest. They're going to be in 8th grade, and they're having these rager parties at their parents' mansions and smoking weed in the bedroom and like. Aren't they 14? Like, I don't know.
And the asshole girl that dressed up like the dad that got electrocuted, that went on way too long. That was really uncomfortable. Up. It was like, come on, dude. Okay, I get the point. This went on for like 3 or 4 minutes of watching her do this damn electricity dance. And it was just like...
That's one thing I want to say is the kill from that first episode at the end when the dad dies. I thought that was one of the coolest kills I've ever seen in the Chucky world. It reminded me of something that could have been in Child's Play 2 easily.
I didn't even recognize that the dad that got electrocuted, that was the actor from Final Destination Part 1. What's his name? Zawa or whatever?
Devin Sawa?
Oh.
Yeah. He's the dad that got electrocuted.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, he starred in that Fanatic movie, too, we watched.
Oh, God, he did.
He had idle hands.
Greatest movie ever.
That movie was pretty good. I'll give you that. It was enjoyable. He looks like he's led a rough life, though. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, he looks like he's had a few too many beers. Some red whiskey.
Yeah, well, there's some pills along with those beers too, I believe.
But I had just watched Idle Hands, and when I was watching episode 2, I seen the cast list when the show started. I seen his name. I said, "Damn!" So I looked it up and seen it was the dad. I didn't even recognize him. And he looks totally different now.
Pablo says he blames Ryan Rotten for Halloween and his baby doll tease. Chucky puked on a guy death.
Was that
in the first episode?
Yeah. He drank his whiskey and then spit it out.
I mean, it's goofy, but I thought the electricity was done well.
I don't have a problem with a killer doll movie being goofy, obviously.
No, yeah.
Or show, whatever.
At this point in the Chucky franchise, the window of taking it serious, that ship has sailed a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Ever since Seed of Chucky,
yeah,
you're never gonna take it seriously again. So might as well just have fun with it.
Those last couple sequels, the cult,
it's gotta be better than that god awful remake. Jeez.
I didn't mind the remake either.
Anything's gotta be better than the remake.
Bradley Taylor's a big fan of the remake, I heard.
It's very divided. People either love it or hate it.
It's a bizarre fucking movie, I'll say that. I'm not sure if I like it or hate it.
I'm never going to watch it again. That's a movie that I just... Like, there's some movies that I just don't want to see ever again. That's one of them. The Thing remake, the Fog remake.
The Thing remake, yeah, that's one of those movies.
A lot of remakes. Poltergeist remake.
It's like when you spray Pam on something, like it just doesn't stick. I've tried to watch that movie, like I don't know how many times. I can't tell you anything about that movie other than it just sucks. But I can't remember anything about it. And the Poltergeist and Pet Sematary remakes are the same way. Like I couldn't tell you one scene in any of them.
Yeah, a lot of throwaway stuff. One thing that I wanted to mention on here that I was thinking about, and I just occasionally, like, I'll think of old parts from the show, or people will bring up, like, when Uncle Bill compared Blu-ray to Crystal Pepsi back in the day. Like that. One that.
Now we're into 4K. Hey, I wasn't wrong though, because like 90% of the population still buys fucking DVDs. So there you go.
Jamie is in the house. She is the 0.5% female audience.
Yeah.
What's going on, Jamie? But yeah, I mean, where do you see in the next 5 years, or even 10 years, physical media going? Because more and more, the Walmart is getting down to like one shelf. Best Buy is getting down to these just, the new arrival section, pretty much, a lot of them. It's getting where we're just going to have to special order this stuff. So where do you see the retail side of things going? And for a fact that they're not going to quit with 4K releases. So is there going to be an 8K come out in 10 years? I think there will be. This is this cycle's never going to end. There's always going to be newer, better quality editions come out. So where do you guys see it going?
I think 8K is going to be the last bastion of physical media. And I think after that, everything's going to be digital. I think. But other than like special interests and like boutique labels and stuff, I think they'll still put out stuff. But I think as far as mainstream, it's going to go all digital. You might even be able to pick up like a little sleeve of cardboard. It's like, redeem this code for your movie, and you can buy it at Walmart or something.
I think that as long as there are people that would spend $50 on a slipcase on eBay, then physical media will always be around. Because there will be those people that will pay over the price for anything physical media. It's going to get smaller and smaller, and it might 5 years from now not even be in stores anymore. But guys like us that collect stuff, we're suckers. Maybe not to the point of buying slipcases on eBay, but they know they have us. We're a niche market, and I think that over time they're going to play more into it, sort of like you're seeing with the boutiques now. But you can still buy. I think you're still going to be able to buy shit like on Walmart.com, BestBuy.com, stuff like that. But it's going to be a lot smaller, and I think it's going to be more focused on the people that actually buy the physical copies, and everybody else, the 80%, 80 other percent digital, of course. But I think it'll be around just selling it just for the people that will spend an arm and a leg on a 4K of Ticks.
I think
Uncle Bill.
I was going to say, I think that it's a lot like collecting anything else. Like, it's going to come in waves. Like, comic books had the 90s, and basketball cards and baseball cards. And, like, right now, like, physical media is really, really popular amongst, like, a really small percentage of collectors. I think that'll actually kind of fade over time. And I think you're actually kind of already seeing that with Vinegar Syndrome and stuff. Just people not... It depends on what they put out, but I don't think they're going to be able to maintain the success that they had for the first year. And as that like kind of goes away, I think digital will just swallow the whole fucking thing. I mean, pretty soon. Except for maybe like a 5% like of people that.
Well, if you really look at it, I think for mainstream movies, it already kind of has. The 4K thing is really more for cult movies than anything, it seems like, because you're getting more of those out. Like, you've got the Scanner Cop movies out in 4K, and the Rocky movies aren't out in 4K. Yeah. To me, that's just kind of weird, really. Godfather's not out in 4K. So, I think a lot of the mainstream audience, though, they're fine just watching a movie on Vudu or renting it on Amazon or Netflix or whatever they do.
Yeah.
See, I gotta be honest, I almost never buy things from Best Buy or FYE or anything like that. I mean, it's getting to the point where I pretty much only wait for these sales from Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome or buy two, get one free from Target.com, things like that. That's where I get most of the stuff anymore. And I barely even look because, like you said, Best Buy, their selection used to be amazing. It's awful now.
Best Buy just pisses me off now when I walk into it.
It's awful.
I think FYE right now is the closest thing that we have to what Best Buy used to be.
Yeah.
Best Buy used to be killer. I mean, you're talking 2 full rows of just horror movies back in the day. Now, we're talking probably close to 20 years ago. But, I mean, that's what it was at one time.
I bought Faces of Death on Blu-ray at Best Buy. That's crazy.
Uncle Bill, this is when I
knew you were going to say this.
These are fucked up movies. If you've never, I don't think they've ever been back out.
No, they're pretty horrible.
It's yeah, they're nothing bad. They are crazy gory though. It's the Guinea Pig trilogy of what was the names of them? Bouquet of Gore or some bullshit.
It's like
that?
It's like woman in a flowered skirt, something bouquet of dead.
Bouquet
women.
of blood.
Yeah, it's just something like all of them have a certain name like that, but
it's Buku of blood, baby.
It is weird though that I bought that at fucking Best Buy. You would never ever see anything like that now.
Hey, one of those was so real looking that Charlie Sheen called.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
Flowers of Flesh and Blood.
Boy, he had the
that's it.
out of his mind.
Yeah,
and those have never been back out. I don't think. I think Unearthed Films did like a box set of those probably 20 years ago, and that's one set that I think is worth a pretty high dollar right now, if I'm not mistaken.
I know I bought, it was either at FYE or Best Buy. I think I got Cannibal Holocaust there also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Best Buy carried Cannibal Holocaust. I remember getting it from, it's crazy like all the Italian horror stuff that they had, and really even today FYE has some pretty obscure shit in their stores, but it's just on a much smaller upscale.
You can get Serbian film in FYE right now. You can.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, where I live, physical media. Going to the store to get physical media, it's like DVDs and Blu-rays rather. There's not much. It's slim pickings. The best place to go to around me is Barnes and Noble because they're the only place to sell Criterions, and they got Arrow as well. A few Arrow thrown in there. You got to dig and find. But other than that, it's like, yeah, you got to go online. And when I was a kid, like 12 years old, before my parents let me watch horror movies officially, I used to walk up and down the aisles at Best Buy, and I distinctively remember the Hellraiser set, the configuration, the Pandora's Box cube, and how cool that was. And it was literally the whole aisle was just horror movies. And now I don't even think they have a whole aisle for Blu-rays in general. It's sad.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting smaller and smaller every year, it seems like. So I would, in 5 years, I don't see anything being in these stores. I mean, maybe new release stuff.
So, whenever you first walk in, they have the new releases. It's like on this big thing. You can like walk around. In my Best Buy, that's all they have. They don't have any other movies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the one that we've got around us, like they've got 2 of those towers, like that are not even racks anymore, and like that's what they have now. Like the towers that you can just kind of walk around, and you can tell they're phasing them out of all these.
I shit you not. I can recall one time going into Best Buy, and it was when Disney re-released Bambi on Blu-ray, and they had it like on a big end cap with a bunch of other Blu-rays mixed in it. I shit you not, on the shelf below Bambi, where a kid could reach it, was the movie Orgasmo by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, mixed in with a whole stack. It wasn't like somebody just put it there. They had it stocked right next to it, like below where a child could reach, above, below Bambi.
I think Best Buy's more worried about selling refrigerators and shit like that anymore. I mean,
I don't even know what the hell Best Buy sells. I go in there and I'm absolutely confused as to who the fuck they're marketing any of that to. That like
they have a lot of. I've noticed, dishwashers and refrigerators and computers and TVs and laptops. Sound bars. They have about 14. I'm literally 14 records in Best Buy. I'm like, what?
They used to.
Yeah.
You remember they used to sell CDs, but I don't even think they sell CDs at all anymore.
No CDs.
They used to have like racks and racks of them. They don't even do that.
They don't do any of that anymore.
Oh,
no, and then even Walmart probably has just one little.
Do you guys remember
2.5 foot section of CDs?
Do you guys remember Suncoast Video?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we used to have one in the mall
back in the day.
Yeah, very expensive.
Yeah,
See,
I was like, you have to spend an arm and a leg.
We didn't have, I don't think we had a Suncoast here, and I'm in West Virginia, but when I worked at FYE, it was still Sam Goody.
Oh, yeah.
So like, we were operating under FYE, but the sign outside and everything was still Sam Goody.
That's wild. Yeah, there was a lot of stores, and then over the span of just a couple of years, they were all gone. Like, for some reason, FYE has still survived. I don't know how, because they're as high as, or maybe even higher than Suncoast was back in the day.
Especially for the Arrow stuff. It's like $35-$40.
But
there's only one FYE near me, and it's in Bowling Green, and it just closed. Like, it's gone.
Yeah, I don't think the one around here will be around very much longer.
Yeah, we'll probably see that. That's if anybody's looking for any out of print stuff, though, because I guess they're so fucking high, nobody will buy it in there. You'll see stuff like I got the Killer Clowns edition that was a FYE exclusive that was like out of print for over a year, and the one in Barberville had it. So,
do you guys have
it's a good place
the Exchange? Is anybody familiar with that store?
I'm not.
So we have it here, like in Pittsburgh, there are a lot of locations called the Exchange, and they get new Arrow titles in, but they also carry a lot of used stuff, just like FYE does. And I just got the Scream Factory Phantasm 2 Blu-ray with a slipcover there for $20.
Oh wow!
So they do. It's like comparable to an FYE. I mean, they have video games and records and things like that. But even their prices are decent on used stuff. But when you get into the new Arrow and Scream Factory stuff, it's just worth it to wait for a sale online.
The Arrow stuff on Amazon is always. I mean, you can get the 4K of Hills Have Eyes for like $31. It's the limited edition one, and then the Legend release is like $24.99 limited edition. So you can get a lot better deals on Amazon. But have you guys? Any of you guys got any other topics you want to bring up on here?
Dune.
Was it any good?
I haven't
The
seen
new
it.
one, or yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the old one or the new one.
The old one sucks.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
yeah. It's kind of universally hated by pretty much everybody, I think.
Including David Lynch.
It's one of those movies too that almost from the first 5 minutes you're bored with. It's kind of almost immediate. It's like, hell.
That's amazing. David Lynch.
You know,
did that.
And he turned down doing Return of the Jedi to do Dune.
Yeah, that
what
was a mistake, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember though watching an interview with him about that. It's one of the funniest fucking things ever, where he met George Lucas and he was like, George Lucas was talking to him about the Ewoks, and he goes, I just started to get a headache, like a migraine headache, and he was like, I knew I couldn't do it because I mean, David Lynch is just not the fucking guy to be like doing Ewoks. He's just not that guy. And he was like, I just kind of had to get out of there before, like, you know, I got a migraine. Those, yeah, David Lynch and George Lucas, two completely different guys.
What
It is
about-
weird
Yeah,
though that
every
he
single
made
way.
that movie. That does not seem at all like anything that he would make.
I read that Indicator, which is a company that I don't own any Indicator Blu-rays, but they are branching out to be releasing titles in the US next year. So I'm wondering if these UK titles or these UK companies are going to be sort of, you know, how Arrow has their US site now. This was the first year that Arrow released their US web store.
There's
Now
a lot of
Indicator.
there's a lot of those UK companies now. I've noticed too, like Eureka and 88 Films and like shit that I've never heard of that all of a sudden just came out of nowhere. I don't know if they're all UK. Some of them might be like just European, but a lot of them are releasing these like special edition movies.
They're almost kind of ahead in a way. It seems like, I mean, because some editions are really nice that they've put out of these movies, and you know, I think people kind of forget, if you're not region free, if you don't have a region free player, I mean, some of the other companies are really worth buying from the UK. So I'm hoping that more of them are able to have distribution in the US.
Wasn't it 88 Films was another one that there were a couple of titles I think that are US exclusives. They might already be out. I'm not really sure.
Oh God. I
What was
forgot
it?
that David Gordon Green. I forgot that David Gordon Green is doing an Exorcist trilogy too. Ugh.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah.
So in
did you
his
guys
new
see-
trilogy, Exorcist 2 and 3 don't exist. I'm willing to guarantee that.
Yeah.
Will Evil die in that trilogy? Will Evil die tonight? That's the question.
God, I can't
I don't know
imagine.
if you got when they announced that it was being remade. William Friedkin retweeted it in like all capital letters. Was like, "I am not involved. I would never be involved. There's not enough money in the world for me to be involved with it."
I'm just going to be honest. Like, if you ever want to watch something that's just like one of the most entertaining interviews you will ever see, watch a William Friedkin interview. Like, a guy talks nonstop and is just like full of great stories about those movies too.
It's the thing they did on Shudder last year that was like an hour and a half. Him talking about making an Exorcist is really good. Like, I highly suggest that to anybody. Like,
Yeah, Leap of Faith.
he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
I'm
he'll-
almost thinking though that the
what's
franchise.
crazy
How
about it-
valuable is the Exorcist as a franchise now, though? You guys think?
There's not a box set
No,
or
not
anything
at all.
of that at all. I mean,
Which is surprising. There should be.
yeah. I mean, Part 3 is one of my favorite horror movies, I would say, and but
Yeah.
you don't really hear anybody talk about them at all besides the first one.
Well, the second one
Yeah.
is just unfucking watchable, as are like the prequels or
Oh,
whatever the shit is like they came out with in the 2000s. That's just, you can't.
Dominion.
Yeah, you can't watch that shit. Like, it's
Those are good war
unwatchable.
special spools.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one movie that they made into two movies and they were like, and then they both sucked, so they released both of them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of them was Dominion, and what was the other one? It was like
Wasn't
two
it
different
something like
cuts of the same movie.
Exorcist, the
basically.
beginning, maybe.
That's
Something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
That was
One
around
was
the
directed
time.
by Rennie Harlan, and one was Paul Schrader.
Wasn't that?
I think
around
Paul
the time-
Schrader was the original. I think his was the original cut, and then
He
they
was
hired
on
Rennie Harlan to come in and, fuck it up
some
even more. Yeah.
That
I
was
remember the
whenever-
late.
The first and the third. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I was just saying,
I remember
part
the-
Exorcist 1 and
Go
3
ahead.
are great.
Y'all remember the late '90s when they released the Exorcist in theaters with all the
Yep.
deleted scenes added back in? That's
Yep.
the first time I seen the damn spider crawl coming down the stairs, and I was like, "Yeah,
that was a huge
kinda,
deal.
That kind of messed with me a little bit. First time I'd ever seen that, and that's
That
the
was
one
one of
movie
the
that always
bits
scares
that-
the shit out of me. Is the original Exorcist.
It was called, like, it wasn't, they didn't call it the director's cut at first. It was like the version you've never seen or something like that.
That's it.
That's because Freakin said that the director's cut's already been made. It's the original fucking version. He just said this was stuff that he couldn't like get away with doing, like to take the wires out of the spider crawl so you can't see the wires in it when she's coming down the stairs. Like, he could digitally take those out now, but he could never do that before. So that's why that scene got put back in.
Yeah, seeing that
the
in theaters,
movie.
that was intense.
That's such
That
an
was a
iconic
pretty
scene
big
now.
release. I think.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that was out in a lot of theaters back in the day.
You see, I remember, didn't they do that with Alien like a few years later? Like, Ridley Scott did his director's cut for Alien. They re-released it in theaters.
They did do that,
was
yeah.
like that was like a trend for a while. Because I remember the slogan was like, in space, no one can hear you scream. In a theater, everyone can hear you scream. Alien director's cut.
Yeah, they started doing a lot more of that. I think The Exorcist was one of the first ones that I remember them really, as far as genre stuff. I think Warner Brothers did that one. It was pretty much everywhere. Like, that was a major deal when that came out.
One thing I have absolutely no interest in seeing is that Day of the Dead series.
No,
Oh
I
my
tried watching the first
God.
episode, turned it off. It was
Oh my
rough.
god, it looked awful.
Wait, that's a thing?
It is
Yeah.
a thing.
And they got the
The
I know what you did
Doodlesons.
last summer
Oh,
series
no.
on Amazon.
That's the one where I saw and I was like, what the fuck? Like, who asked for that? Like, they're going to do that. I know what you did. Like a series of, I know what you did last summer.
Another thing,
Are the
though,
Doodlesons the Doodlesons are the ones that did Contagion.
yeah, and Creepshow 3.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is something that I've yet to really figure out. I don't know if they've said that. I think this news broke the other night when we were doing that commentary about the whole Alec Baldwin thing with the killing of the cinematographer on set and all that. Did they ever say exactly what? Was it the Brandon Lee thing all over again, or how did that happen?
I've heard two
From what I
different
heard, it was actually live bullets.
I heard that there was one live round. I don't know how one got in there, but I heard that, and then heard that it was just like the Brandon Lee thing where the blank misfired and shot shrapnel, and I don't think
Yeah, there's something lodged in the barrel, I think, in that. I don't know if it was part of another.
They released
shell
the 911 phone call. I heard that online, and so I don't know.
From what I've heard, that same day before that shooting happened, a lot of the crew walked off set to protest what they called unsafe working conditions, which included apparently that it happened earlier in the shoot before where there was a live round went off. So somebody's going to jail. like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that just sucks for everybody involved, too. Like Alec Baldwin, man. I mean, I couldn't imagine. Because, you're just acting out a scene or whatever. I guess he was shooting the gun at the camera or however they do that. And that's just, I don't know.
But here's the thing. How do you have I'm still trying to figure out how you have a gun with live rounds on a fucking movie set anyway, to be handed to anybody. Like, how does that even happen?
It ceases to be a prop gun once it has actual bullets in it. Then it just becomes a gun. You know?
It almost makes you think that the guy that set up the prop gun had a problem with the cameraman or the whatever. They were trying to take somebody out.
Well, it's going to get to the point, too, where they're just going to have to do that in post. Like, they're just going to have to do, like, a rubber gun or something like that and add it all after the fact.
Yeah.
Evidently. So.
Like you said, why would there even be a single live bullet on the set?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's terrible. Because I mean, he didn't. And I'm not like he didn't do it. I mean, he did it, but you know what I mean. He's gonna have to live with that for the rest of his life. That no matter what the accident, that he pulled the trigger, and that's just terrible. Like,
I mean, can you imagine that too? Like, you murdered somebody, but you didn't really
it's a horrible situation.
Do it. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ! Like, somebody
it was beyond his control.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't. Hell, who would have ever thought that something like that in 2021 could happen?
I'm surprised they didn't already have it planned to do in post-production, like you said. I would think they would have just done that anyway, especially with I'm assuming this Rust movie is going to be a pretty big production. So, you got to think they're going to be using special effects in it somewhere. Why couldn't they just use that?
Michael was saying that
here's the thing you got to look.
That someone handed Baldwin the wrong gun. Why in the fuck was there a gun with a live
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, why would that bullet?
Yeah.
Yeah, did they have two sets of guns, prop guns, and fully loaded real guns on set? Like,
yeah. So yeah, whoever is in charge of that sort of thing, they're definitely going to do some jail time there.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. I think was it the Brandon Lee one? Was that the blanks discharged? They didn't clean out the gun properly, right? So the blanks discharged. Yeah.
Now that I can get. I can understand that. Like, you've got like a particle of the bullet stuck in there, and then the other bullet fires it out. The gas and everything fires it out. I get that. I don't get having a fucking live gun anywhere on a movie set. Like, I just cannot figure it out.
Hey, that's another Tragedies in Tinseltown video. You guys working on that?
Yeah.
That movie will probably never come out, though. So
yeah.
That's like, I mean, honestly, if what had happened on Twilight Zone, the movie today, happened in a movie, that movie would never come out either. Now, that's the weird thing. Warner Brothers, up until just, the last release, I mean, they kept re-releasing that movie over and over again. So that's the thing that's another tragedy with Twilight Zone, the movie, is the company still makes money off of it.
That's true.
God, yeah. Was there any other, like, I'm trying to think besides the Crow and Alec Baldwin recently and the Twilight, was there any other like major deaths on like there was that train when they were doing the Allman Brothers movie, that the dumbass director didn't get a permit, and they tried to shoot a scene on a train bridge, and a train came and they had like a big mattress on the track and everything, and some poor woman got run over, part of the crew. That was pretty bad too.
Yeah, that movie never came out either. They never finished it.
The director went to jail for that.
I don't think.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuntmen that have died. I know a lot of helicopter crashes and things like that too. But I can't think of one where I can't think of many where the main cast or crew got killed like that.
The Wraith. Didn't the lighting people or somebody get hit by a truck during the filming of The Wraith?
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
Put out. That was on one of the special features. They talked about that on that disc. They were driving a rig which had equipment for the film on it. Something like that happened. Somebody died during that too. I can't remember the whole story, but it was on the special features for that Vestron disc.
Did you guys ever hear? And this is a family movie, but it was made in, I think it was made in Japan. The Adventures of Milo and Otis. Did you ever hear how many animals and shit were killed during the making of that movie?
That was insane. The stories about that, yeah.
Yeah. And it's so weird because it's such a lighthearted family movie. And then to know that they went through half a dozen cats and dogs and whatever else, to make it. That's just crazy.
And I think Beastmaster, they got in trouble because that damn lion or that big ass tiger, they spray painted him or something. They painted him black or whatever it was for the movie, and he got sick or died or something. But I know there was something with animal rights were pissed off about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie that Garrett brought up on a live stream a few weeks back. Not that anybody got killed or anything like that happened, but it was this movie called Roar from the 80s that featured real lions and tigers and it is the craziest shit you'll ever see. The story goes out the window because you'll just be cringing. You'll be in awe that these crazy son bitches are literally running up to tigers fighting each other and shit and mauling each other, and I'm not even joking. It's about hundreds of lions and tigers and elephants and everything in just this one confined space. It was some animal activist producer decided to make his dream project, and it's one of the stupidest fucking things ever.
They killed 3 Benjis and Benji the Hunted. Damn.
Benji was the hunted.
Damn, boys.
Yeah, so there was a point in time there when nobody really, Cannibal Holocaust, we've all talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get into animal deaths, there's the Italian movies were they were killing fucking hordes of animals back then.
Ruggero Deodato's an innovator when it comes to murdering animals on screen.
Some of it's stock footage. I just watched Cannibal Ferox, and the scene where that tiger grabs the monkey or whatever and starts chewing on it, I guess it's stock footage from a nature documentary or something. But still, it's I don't really... ugh. Yeah, it's kind of nasty.
Yeah, it kind of takes you out of the movie for sure. I mean,
I remember the first time sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I remember the first time I saw Cannibal Holocaust. And I wasn't aware that animals were murdered or killed in the movie until I was watching the movie, and I'm like, oh, the muskrat, that looked realistic. And then I forget what was next, maybe the turtle or something. I was like, oh,
the turtle.
Oh, they're doing this they're playing with its guts now. Okay, this ain't fake.
That's what I always go back to, is that fucking poor ass turtle that got its head cut off, and then its arms were just flapping like crazy. I was like, no, that's real, boys. What the hell,
I just watched that the other night. I showed my buddy that movie for the first time, and the DVD has a thing on it where you can watch it with those scenes cut out. But we left them in because I was like, you're gonna watch this movie, you want to see it the uncut way. So
God.
It was pretty nasty.
Get the full experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I appreciate y'all joining me on here. We are going to try to do these every month because that was the original plan, to do these roundtable shows once a month. So a lot of stuff coming out. I'm sure there'll be more news topics and stuff to get to. One thing that we wanted to mention on here, though, before we got off, is we do have an interview coming up, Uncle Bill. You want to talk about that?
We do. This guy has been amazing. Well, these guys have both been amazing to us over the years. And they actually created one of the films that I watch pretty much every Halloween, and that is Night of the Demons. So we're going to have Night of the Tennies, which is Kevin and Dennis Tenney, who are brothers, and one's the director and one's the composer. We're going to be talking to both of them at the same time, which we haven't really done anything like that I can think of. We're two different people at the same time like that, unless you're talking about like Felsher and Don May.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be good because Kevin Tenney's kind of like, he's the king of dad jokes on Facebook, I always say. And we've never had his brother on, but yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Those guys, I think they started in music together and then they kind of branched out and become like a duo in movies. So I think it'll be interesting. That's coming up on Wednesday at 9 o'clock, the 27th, baby.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. But,
We can finally talk about Pinocchio's Revenge.
I want to corner them and be like, hey, if there's ever a Blu-ray, we deserve to do the commentary for Pinocchio's Revenge. I mean, come on.
That's got to be a Vinegar Syndrome title.
4K. Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome always gets, is it the British podcast guys? I can't remember their name, but they always have them doing their commentaries. But, they could take a break and let us do the Pinocchio Revenge one. But yeah, Night of the Tennies is coming up Wednesday, the 27th at 9 p.m. So that'll be fun.
Good deal.
All right, guys.
Sweet.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on here and everybody joining us in the chat as well. And we are going to try, like I said, to do one of these every month from here on out. We'll see how long that lasts. But we'll try.
Yeah, I can give it a shot.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. And Matt, Carta, Pop, Josh, thank you guys. Hope you can join us next time. And we will see you over at DeadPit on Patreon. And, of course, DeadPit.com. Give us a thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell. Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPitOnPatreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.